WWE has finally sold.
This is the biggest thing Ari Emanuel and Vince McMahon have ever done.
Yeah.
Combining forces like this there's nothing like this. There's never been anything like this.
Now, I've done multiple videos on WWE, at least spoke about it. I know I did one video here on my channel here. Nobody really cared. I know the audience is probably not a fan of WWE. I understand. But I've also spoken about it quite a bit on Money Market Truth, which is a podcast we have under the Come Up series umbrella. Please check it out. We do a show bi-weekly on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Sometimes we do it live, sometimes it's pre-recorded. But I spoke about WWE the last episode we had, and this is a company I've been eyeing for a while. Not only are the fundamentals significantly better than I expected, I always just thought it was just a wrestling company. It is do live shows. It's a lot more than that. It's merchandise. Listen, I already spoke about all this stuff. You could check out the video up here, my first time when I spoke about WWE. But a bigger picture of the whole story is that WWE has been a sleeper hit even during the pandemic. And I did trade it early on during the pandemic. I think it was either 2020 or 2021. I had an option play. I made, I think, over 100% or something like that. Then I got out of it and never looked at it again until literally last year, summer, when I was like, wow, this thing ran. And I've been waiting for it to pull back because I also have a dividend portfolio and they pay a dividend. So I've been waiting for it to actually pull back. And it never really happened. It never really hit my price target. We'll get into that a little bit here later when I go over the technicals. But here is the recent news announcement about WWE, so you have an idea exactly what is going on with WWE. And again, please put this on your watch list. Do not sleep on it. So according to news outlets, a merger between World Wrestling Entertainment and the company that owns UFC has landed with a thud. WWE stock was down 4.9% Monday in midday trading after the company announced it was merging with mixed martial arts company Ultimate Fire Championship, which is part of the Endeavor Group. Endeavor stock was down 7.2%. WWE and Endeavor said that they plan to form a new company for the merger that will be controlled by Endeavor, which will be under the ticker symbol TKO. Investors have been betting big on changes at WWE this year after the company announced on January 6th that it was exploring strategic alternatives designed to maximize the value for WWE stakeholders. Now, again, if you watch my previous video, which I do encourage you guys to watch, I'm very proud of it. I thought the editing was pretty dope. And the stuff that I did, a little skit that I did with my daughter. But essentially during that time, during January, the rumors was that Saudi Arabia was most likely going to buy this company. And then Vince McMahon, who was involved in a sexual scandal, essentially sleeping with employees and other people under the WWE umbrella and then paying them off, that came to the forefront, and he actually stepped away from the company 6 months prior, which brought back his daughter. So therefore his daughter and her husband, which is Triple H, were in charge of the company for a short period of time. Then he returned and she stepped away. Regardless, literally I really believe that the Vince McMahon dynasty is based off of that TV show Succession, or that this TV show is based off of the WWE dynasty of the McMahons. The weird thing is that this company has been family owned for over 70 years, and he has finally sold it to the point where it's a little bit shocking to see. I didn't think this would ever happen, but what's more shocking is the fact that Vince McMahon went on live television with this. I've never seen him with that mustache. He looks kind of strange. But he seems to be really proud of this merger, and it's going to be a 49-51 split with Endeavor holding the 51% majority share of the company. But they will still keep some key positions as follows. They got Ari Emanuel as the CEO, Dana White as the UFC president. They got Vince McMahon as the executive chairman, Nick Khan as the WWE president, and Mark Shapiro as the president and the COO. That's the plan, and this merger is supposed to happen in the second quarter of this year, so we'll see what happens. But this is some pretty exciting news for WWE overall. Now, I'm going to bring up the charts real quick. I'm going to show you some technicals and what I was eyeing at, because I did get into a position for WWE, and I'm actually up 35% in a single day off of this position. All right, now we're transitioned over to TradingView. If you like TradingView and you want to support my channel, please click on the description below. There is a affiliate link in there, so if you decide you want to go pro on this, it will help me out. I get a little bit of money there off of this, so this is a way you can support my channel. TradingView is a awesome platform. I know a lot of people are probably thinking, why would I pay for a chart Yes, I know. I felt the same way for many years. I have Thinkorswim and E-Trade, and they have all the charts there for free. So why would you pay for TradingView? Honestly, it just does everything very well. It's kind of like an Apple situation. Why buy an Apple iPhone if you can get a Samsung that has all the bells and whistles? It just works better, in my personal opinion. Anyways, there was a drastic supply zone that we hit back in 2019 and got rejected, and it tried to revisit that again around January of this year, but also got rejected once again and tried again and got rejected. But I had a demand zone that I created back in January when we had this gap up, which I was hoping that we would fill this gap back down, and I was waiting for it. And the only thing that we really did was touch the top of this gap, which is around the $80 range, and then bounced off of it and went back up. But I had a demand zone at $67 to $69 on the weekly demand. And I kind of been waiting, honestly. All these lines that you see right here, the yellow lines, were all lines that are in support levels that I was just waiting for WWE to retrace to. It never happened. Literally, I've been waiting, and since last year, January 2022, and it just hasn't happened yet. It's also above the 200-day EMA. So this company's been taking off. It didn't take a massive hit like most companies. It's been up over 20-some%. It beat the market last year, and I've just been waiting. It's a good dividend company as well. And do I believe that's going to go to $67 to $69? I don't think so. Not anymore. In fact, I'm not even sure if it's going to end up filling this gap or not. Well, what I can tell you is that we are close to the overbought range. If you scroll down here on the RSI, really close, encroaching that area on the weekly chart. But again, these are all delayed indicators anyways. But I like demand, supply, demand, and support and resistance. I rely on those a lot more than anything. But after the news announcement yesterday, WWE did drop down close to 8% exactly, right before it actually started coming back somewhat, because it did end the day, I think, around negative 2%, 3% on Monday, but it did sell off at 7%. And I said this on Money Market Truth that typically after WrestleMania, the stock would sell off. Now, when I woke up in the morning, I saw it was 7% down. I was like, whoa, did WrestleMania perform poorly? Like, what's going on? It looked like it was doing pretty well. No, it was because of the news about the merger. And I think there was a little bit of an overreaction, so people sold off. And when I saw that opportunity, I bounced on it, and I did get myself an option for next month. However, for a $100 call, do I think it's going to reach $100 by next month, end of May? I'm not sure, but I definitely think it's going to reach the 90s, 93, maybe 94, and I'll have a pretty good, decent return. Like I said, I'm up 35% right now, so wish me luck. I plan on exiting if I get to the next support level, which is around 92, 93 or so. I'm most likely going to exit out of this position or add on another one if I see that it continues to rally up until it gets to around 100. Then I'm definitely going to get out of this position. This is very interesting, though, this overall. Like, again, if you like good, solid companies, especially dividend company, WWE was solid. But like I said, after the merger, it's going to transition into TKO. So if you still have stocks in either Endeavor or WWE, likely what you will see is that it will switch over to TKO. Now, there was some other information that came out as well, and I want to read you this real quick because this was very interesting when it came to WWE and what they had announced. Now, this WWE deal, it says that it represents a contribution of WWE of about $106 per share. Now, if you basically already own WWE shares, the deal mentioned in the statement likely refers to a specific corporation event such as a merger, acquisition, or spinoff, which we already talked about is going to be a merger. The deal that represents the contribution of WWE of about $106 per share suggests that WWE is contributing $106 per share to the deal. Now, depending on the terms of this deal and the nature of the contribution, the value of the existing shares of WWE may be affected. It could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, so it all depends on where that money is actually coming from. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's guaranteed that WWE is going to run up to $106. No, it does not. In fact, it could actually drop a little bit. But looking at the way it's moving and looking at the solid fundamentals of the company, there's a good chance that it's going to encroach close to the $100 range, in my personal opinion. Hence the reason why I got into this position instead of waiting for it to hit my $67 to $69 weekly demand zone, which I'm not sure it's going to happen, especially with the merger happening with Endeavor. I will say this. I know it typically takes about a year or so for you to really see the impact of that company and whether or not they're heading in the right direction or not. So because of that, I don't feel real comfortable investing into WWE long term right now because I want to see what happens after this merger, because you're no longer just relying on the McMahon Corporation to run WWE. It is now a partnership. And I want to see what UFC, or not even UFC, but what Endeavor is planning on doing with WWE and the product. Will it increase profitability? That's the plan, sure. But are they able to, I guess, deliver the same product like Vince McMahon has been able to deliver for decades? I mean, again, this has been a family-run company for 70 years. And I don't know what's going on in the family. I do find it strange that it wasn't passed down to his children. So something must be internally going wrong here where he feels more comfortable handing the company over to another company to do a merger. And I am also curious what's going to happen with his children, like Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, which have been involved in WWE for a long time. They clearly love the company. His son, not the same. Shane McMahon has left the company, came back, and then left again. So there's clearly some sort of drama there. I'm sure his dad at one point was trying to groom him to be the person who's going to take over the company. Never happened. So this is going to be a very interesting story. I'm going to continue to monitor this, and I'm most likely going to talk more about it on Money Market Truth rather than on my channel. But if you enjoy this, please make sure you subscribe.
Why did you do that? Nothing.
185%! Yes! 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 WWE! WWE!
So if you got close to the end of the video, I hope you enjoyed that little skit. You know, I had to follow up with another power bomb or slam or something, just like I did in my last video. But again, my name is Mark. Thank you for watching. You just got cultured. Not sure if that's a saying yet, but you get my point. Until next time, peace out.
Okay. I just got cultured.